One of the most popular music artists in the world has released a sneaker, and I'm actually really interested to take a look at it, mainly because of how people have reacted to it. So let's see if you all have kept the same energy. Today we're taking a look at the Drake Nocta Nike Hot Step Air Terra. Okay, so I think the box is basically going to lead into the main theme about this sneaker, looking pretty plain. I mean, for a collaboration, there's not much going on here. Kind of like an old retro style of box, you know, some of the older Air Maxes. It's got just the plain old cardboard, some very small Nike branding. Of course, you got the Nocta branding on the side over here. This gray portion is a slightly different texture to the rest of the box, but that's pretty much it. Pulling open the lid, and you get met with some blue paper, some very pale blue paper, and again, no branding on there either. And finally, we pull open today's pair of sneakers, guys, and of course, that again is the Drake and Nike Hot Step Air Terra. I personally think it's so weird how Drake and Nike have been working together for such a long time. However, their collaborations have never come close to any of the other rappers' collaboration. I mean, Drake and his brand OVO got some collaborations on some of the less hyped up sneakers like the Jordan 10 and the 12, and you can't forget the Hydro Slide. Either way, we finally got the next iteration for Drake and Nike, and this is a very interesting one. This is part of Drake's new collaboration brand with Nike called Nocta. Now, Nocta hasn't done too much crazy stuff. They've pretty much dropped some tracksuits, some puffer jackets, some golf stuff, but now this is the first sneaker in that lineup. The Hot Step Air Terra Nocta. These dropped on March the 3rd, and they actually retail for £140 here in the UK, or $180 if you're out in the US. Leading up to the release, these got flamed online for looking like Fila disruptors, and how plain it is, and you know, how I guess disappointing it is that this is what they came up with for a Drake collaboration. In my experience, these things were super hard to get. I even stayed up for the Nocta release, didn't get anything, so there definitely is a demand for this pair of sneakers. This sneaker pays homage to classic Air Max style. In fact, it's inspired by classic Air Max sneakers like the Air Turbulence, the Air Humara, and of course the Up Tempo. And I feel like it really does fit in with the rest of the Nocta stuff that they offer, just very simple, low-key stuff. Maybe Air Max fans are really feeling this one, but let's say you're on the fence. Let's say you don't really know whether you like it, you're umming and ahhing, well, what are you getting with this pair of sneakers? Well, let's start with the materials. Materials, I do want to say, look, it's really not that bad. The upper is completely made of a nice feeling premium leather material. Nothing you wouldn't necessarily expect on a pair of Air Maxes, but I do have to say, in hand, it's nice, it's soft, and it feels good. Quilted, puffed out panels on the upper, kind of moving from back to the front, giving it this very angular shape, which I do really like. And on top of that, you have perforation holes, which are kind of perforation holes because there is reflective material underlaid just underneath each of these holes. So when you hit it with the flash, that's what reflects. definitely is a very minimal sneaker in terms of branding. You've got a few little metallic hits on the toe box over here. You've got a little Nike logo over by the eye stays at the top, and then another really small Nike logo around the back. You also have some other branding around the back of the sneaker. On the heel portion, you've got a little G-Trek logo. Then, of course, the only Nocta branding that you get on this sneaker is that logo right there in the center of the tongue. I think the main thing that attracts me to this sneaker is the midsole. It looks super cool. It looks like it has all of the grooves and the lines in it to make it interesting. And then, of course, you get the spiky outsole, which just pulls everything together and just makes it look super clean. And this midsole, when you feel it, when you give it a little squish, it actually feels really soft in hand, or softer than at least I expected. So along with the air unit, this forefoot portion of the cushioning is actually pretty comfy. The outsole also features the only other color hit, which is in yellow, which I think looks pretty cool. Overall, it has a very chunky dad shoe vibe, but definitely a retro Air Max vibe as well. So if you're into that, I feel like you're gonna like these. So how do these feel on foot? Well, first off, I'll talk about sizing. I think go true to size. I got my true to size and they fit pretty perfect. Surprisingly, there's a decent amount of arch support on this pair of sneakers, which I happen to really like when I was wearing it. It's also decently comfortable in terms of the cushioning, in terms of the squish when you're walking around. Nothing insane when it comes to the Air Max unit, but overall, I wouldn't have any issues wearing these for a longer period of time. They feel good quality and very sturdy, and I actually like the way that they feel on foot. Listen guys, overall, I don't mind the way that this sneaker looks. In fact, I quite like it in terms of the shape. Good looking effect, how it kind of just starts at the top and moves down towards this point at the toe. I feel like that gives it a really good look on foot. If you're someone who likes a more subtle approach to sneakers, I feel like it's a solid option. If you can find these at a good price tag, along with the solid black pair that dropped alongside these, we've also got a black and yellow colorway upcoming, and a snake skin if you wanted to go a little bit more crazy with your sneakers. And I also feel like the market on these has adjusted pretty accurately. They're not going for anything insane on the aftermarket like I guess I would have expected for a trade collaboration, but there you go. That is everything you need to know about the Nike and Drake Hot Step Air Terra. Let me know what you think of this one. Did you manage to get it on release day unlike me? Either way, that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.